Hey, Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author, and we have to talk about the stock market. It was a crazy week, but I want to talk about Amazon potentially buying Peloton, what you should know as an investor, what's going on in that space, and what should you think about it and whether or not it's actually going to happen. So first, economic update. We were pretty right. I talked about how once earnings come out, for the rest of these big companies, we might be on a path upward. Now, we did have what was jobless claims or something that came out, unemployment, all kind of stuff. That's what's going to continue to happen. The market is definitely going to react on those days. The market today, I think it was might have been payroll numbers came out. They were up, but the market kind of tanked in the morning, and then things were fine. So 4 out of 5 days, the market was up this week. Hopefully this continues. We'll see. But outside of that, here's what you need to know. About maybe an hour, almost 2 hours ago, we found out that Amazon is they are consulting about buying Peloton. The first thing you need to know is this might not happen, because I got right up here doing the exact same video about PayPal potentially buying Pinterest and why I thought it would be a good fit. And I still think it could be a good fit. It didn't happen. So this is not this is happening. This is it might happen. We don't know. Same thing with Microsoft and what was it, Activision. That actually did happen, and I think that is a good fit. So let's talk about why this could be a good fit, assuming they are, buyable or on sale rather. Which stock should you buy if that were to occur, and what other fits? Because I think Amazon is a decent fit. I think there's an actual better fit that you might actually agree with me more on, and we'll see what happens. All right, so first, Amazon Prime, all that kind of stuff. They announced their earnings the other day, but what you need to know is Peloton is a good target to be bought, got is what I would say, because Peloton went public in 2019. If you bought them back in 2019, you're probably down about 8.5%, which isn't the worst, except it's been 3 years and you lost money. But it's better than having bought it in 2020 after the stock soared 400% during the pandemic. Peloton was one of those unicorn cases where it's a decent product. Now, people who have Peloton tell me it's the greatest product in the world, whatever. But for a pandemic where you are trapped at home, you're not spending money on travel, you're probably not buying gas because you're not going to and from work, you're eating snacks all day like I was, and you need something to stay fit and to give you community and let you interact with other people. Boom, here's an expensive bike with 0% interest, and you can spread out the payments for however long they're going to let you spread out the payments. Boom, Peloton. Made sense for that time. 2021, that wasn't the case. We had vaccines, people were kind of, branching out, tired of being locked in the house. I don't blame them, and it didn't make sense anymore. In fact, it went from being up 400% to, in the past year, it's been down 83%. I've done videos on how bad Peloton has gotten. Now, this makes it cheaper for Amazon to decide to say, look, y'all are flailing right now. You had some bad press and some bad PR. In fact, in 2 HBO shows, no spoilers. I'm not even going to name the shows. But again, no spoilers here, or spoiler warning. I think that's what I should say. Either case, there are 2 HBO shows. I haven't watched either of the shows yet. I just watched the financial part of the news. But in 2 HBO shows, they had heart attacks on Pelotons. And that was not a great look for Peloton, because now it looks like, hey, these things are really dangerous. And, not the best look. It's just not the best look. And in either case, the stock has been crashing, again, down 83% in the past year. And Amazon says, look, I got money. I bought Whole Foods a few years back. I bought MGM Studios, last year or so. Maybe I might as well scoop this up and integrate it into Amazon Prime and all the other stuff that I do. The good thing from Amazon's perspective is they are very good at supply chain. Of all the issues we've had with supply chain and chip shortages and all that stuff, it hadn't affected Tesla that much, but it has impacted Ford. It hasn't impacted Amazon that much. When I get my 2-day shipping or whatever it's going to be, it's been here, and very rarely do I have to worry about it. And Amazon, for whatever reason, has been able to navigate it better than most. Peloton has struggled. Peloton has struggled to a degree that they've slashed prices. There were headlines about them cutting production because people weren't buying them as much. And the world has shifted from, we don't know what this virus is, to, we got vaccines, we're going to be all right, we outside. The world has changed, and Peloton has not been able to adjust because they were essentially a one-trick pony. Yes, they sell merch. Yes, they have a treadmill and different versions of the bike, and they've got the app. But that's really it. Y'all need to do something else. And now the people say, look, for cheaper instead of $1,400, $2,000, however much these things cost. Instead of that, maybe I'll go walk outside. Maybe I'll go ride a real bike. Maybe I'll go to a gym. Maybe I'll get an Oculus and ride a virtual bike or do boxing. Like I do, for way cheaper. But in either case, that's the problem with Peloton. So now that it's cheaper, Amazon can buy it. Maybe you can sign up with your Amazon Prime account. Maybe I can get 2-day shipping or something like that. And maybe I can split out the payments through Amazon or through, I don't know if it's Afterpay that they partner with or Upstart, I forget who they partner with. But you can do that as well and say, look, I can get this at a very affordable rate. I can spread out my payments, I can be fit, I can be fancy, and get me a Peloton, all within the memberships or membership benefits inside of a Prime membership, which went up to $139 a year from $119. That's possible. It could work, and that's fine. If that is the case, usually, just like I said with the PayPal video, the PayPal and Pinterest video, generally when this happens, the stock that is, or the company that is looking to be acquired or will be acquired, which is not a guarantee. We saw that with Pinterest and PayPal, it actually did not go through, and that was not a thing. We'll see, this could be similar. But generally when this happens, the stock that is looking to be acquired, the company that's looking to be acquired, shoots up in value, which is what happened with Peloton. Last I checked, it was up 30% after market, so market's closed, and there's a little sketchy trading at the end of the day, and it was up 20 or 30%. And usually the company that is acquiring them tends to drop a bit. We'll see. But here's the thing. It may happen. If it does, I think it's an okay fit. If I were to give it a grade, I'd say a B. If you listen to me, Apple, this is you. Google, this might be you. It could fit. Because remember, I was a dude that talked and said that Netflix should go into merchandise. I said that. I did say that. I also said that if Activision was going to get bought, it should have been Netflix instead of Microsoft. But Netflix did listen, and eventually they go into a partnership with Walmart on merchandise to sell clothes from their TV shows. That's cool. But for Peloton, here's how it could work for Apple. Apple, like Peloton, has a very, I don't want to say vicious, but a very enthusiastic user base, a very enthusiastic customer, where once you get into that ecosystem, they want you to have it, and Apple feels luxurious, and Peloton is a luxury item. It's nice, it's expensive. Certain type of person owns one. I don't own one, but if I did, I feel like I would be fancier if I owned that item. But in either case, right, people who have Peloton let you know that they have Peloton. And if you've ever had an Android like I have, people who have iPhones let you know and make you feel inferior. That's just how they are. And it could actually work because, unlike Amazon, at least to my knowledge, Apple already has a lot of different devices, excuse me, that can pile on top of it and make it make more sense. So for example, the Apple Watch, right, has the Apple Fitness application. So that's an easy sync between the two, because Peloton also already has an app that will give you workouts and all that kind of stuff. That's easy. That is an easy sync between the two. I can get on my Peloton, sync it with my watch, it syncs with my phone, it syncs with my Mac, and boom, we're up and running. Apple is also better and more, I don't want to say more capable, more used to. They're more familiar with hardware, where I have a physical phone, I have a physical laptop, a physical watch, all those things. Whereas Amazon, what do they actually make? Like, what is it that you, like a product you can hold? Like, yes, they make, shirts and stuff like that, and they'll label some things with Amazon. But, what, Alexa? That's it? Like the Echo? They have that. That's like one of the only physical things that they have and that they're used to building and creating. And yes, while they're acquiring Peloton, while we assume they are looking to acquire Peloton, they're not acquiring. We'll see. Peloton will be behind the manufacturing and all that kind of stuff. But if you ask me, Apple would be an even better integration. It can also work for Google because Google bought Fitbit. In case you forgot, they also have the Android phones and the Chromebooks, and they have the speaker as well, Google Assistant. It could also work there too if you wanted it to. I don't think Google's brand, to the eyes of most, is like that luxury feel in the same way that Peloton is or the same way that Apple is, but it could fit. It is something that actually makes sense because they also make similar hardware to Apple. They just don't have the exact same branding. So for me, Apple would be the best fit, then maybe a Google, and then maybe Amazon last. But in either case, this is something that is expected or not expected to happen. It is something that is going around right now. It is a rumor right now, and that's all we have for reports. As of the time of this recording, all we know is that Amazon says they're talking to consultants to figure out what they want to do. That's it. Does Peloton want to sell? We don't know. So do keep your eye on it. Again, Peloton was up 400% in 2020. Over the last year, it's been down 83%. It ain't a stock I'm touching. Okay, in either case, it's not a company I'm touching. I already own shares of Amazon, so there's that. They did have a good earnings report. They got the money to do it if they were to choose to. And it's also a good thing for Amazon, too, because it gives them another diversified business line. So they've got their own shares of Revlon, which really helped them. You know, they got Amazon Prime. We know they got Amazon Video. The list goes on. They got AWS, the Amazon cloud service. They got stuff. I wish Apple would have more stuff. They got the phones, which they make the most money from, and services built around the phone. They got the Beats headphones. They got the Mac that I'm staring at right here. It's my wife's. And I mean, they got the streaming service, but you know, I forget what the number is, 70, 80%, whatever it is, it's pretty much based on the phone. If they were to bring in Peloton, I'd like them even more than what I already do. So, you as an investor, I would stick tight, see if this happens. It may not. We just saw what happened with PayPal and Pinterest. So, sit tight. If you like Amazon as a stock and as an investor, then you can make that decision. They just went through earnings. The stock shot up yesterday about 12%. It is what it is. I think if you want to do it, I think it's a simple, easy buy. But remember, over the last year, they were down like somewhere between 6 and 8%. It wasn't great for them last year. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure why, because their earnings were fine. So keep an eye out for it. It's breaking news. We will, learn more as this thing continues. I had a whole bunch of stuff I was going to talk about this week, but hey, stuff happened during the week. And the good thing is, as we had talked about, the market did bottom out to a degree, if I didn't say that already. 4 out of the 5 days were positive. That's great, because January was rough. Hopefully these things will continue. All right, so that is it for me. That is your news for the day. I wanted to make sure I got up here, talked about it, hopefully get this out sooner than I normally do. Y'all know I'll be up late. But try and get this out while it's still breaking, as we're still learning more. So I will update this story when and if this story updates. All right, that's it for me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.